me, Lisa, the Scrappy Wife behind ScrappyWife.com, and today I am working in my memory planner for the week of June 20th. I have a ton of pictures because we were still on vacation for this particular week, so a ton of pictures that I had to just narrow down. And then I also have a few pieces from Hip Kit Club. I think this was actually the June kit, if I'm thinking correctly. It's one of the previous kits, but it's a Hip Kit Club exclusive, and I really want to use this paper in particular. So that is the plan. I will bring you guys along as I work through it. I will link things that I use down in the description box below, so you can always check those. I also link the photo printer that I use, the app that I use to print my photos at home, just so that you can check that out if you are interested. All right, let's go. All right, so this was the second week of our vacation where we wrapped up our Disney vacation and then headed to the beach to celebrate my parents' 50th wedding anniversary, which is just such an amazing accomplishment. And it was so cool to get to celebrate them and their marriage. So I have about 1,000,000 pictures from this week. I had to narrow it down, and still I'm going to have so many. In fact, so many, there's not going to be a ton of room for journaling. So what I'm going to use are these picture frames. This is again, a piece from the Hip Kit Club. This is one of their exclusive papers, and I'm going to use all of these picture frames as an opportunity to add little notes here and there. This is not going to have my traditional journaling lines like I like to do in my memory planning spreads, but I think every now and then the pictures really can tell the story. I know what was happening because of what is in this week before, like the week before where I talk about going to Disney. I will mark a few little notes here and there, but the frames will really help me to contain those journaling spots and still be able to include a ton of different pictures. I definitely have times in my memory keeping and in my memory planning where layouts are kind of motivated by the supplies. I'm so excited about a particular theme or a particular color that that's kind of the focus. I have other times where they are really dominated by the pictures, and that is what is the case in this spread. Because I have so many pictures, there were so many little stories to tell. I know I'll be telling some of these stories in the album that I'm creating to document this trip, but I do want to have a lot of these pictures just in our regular memory planning album that I create for my family each year. I love having these albums. We start looking through them in December, start looking through what happened in that past year and kind of make plans for the coming year. It's just a lot of fun to have these. So because this one is so dominated by pictures, I wanted to keep everything else really simple. So you're not going to see a lot of supplies. I only use that frame paper and then this gorgeous rainbow paper. Yes, I cover up a lot of the pattern. That's okay. I'm still really enjoying the peaks of color that will come through. I just matted all of the pictures on the same paper. That way they have a very uniform look because it's going to be a very busy spread with a lot of pictures. And I think it's okay to include a ton of pictures. I also think it's okay if you don't have a ton of pictures. There's all kinds of memory planning that you can do. You can memory plan whether you've gone on vacation. You can memory plan with one picture a week, and maybe you want to memory plan some of the food that you've been eating that week, or you want to keep a memory planner all about your pets. I think that is totally cool. That's the neat thing about memory planning, is there's not any rules that have to be followed. You can do what works for you, and for me that means I change up my style from week to week. I do like to completely fill my memory planning spreads, but I have seen memory planners that like to have blank space as well. So it's really no rules. This one is going to be all the photos. This might be the most photos that I fit on one spread, and it ends up kind of being like a jigsaw puzzle, getting it all worked out here in a minute. But first, they're all matted onto the paper. I have all of my frames, so this is the biggest elements on the page. I decided not to do any background paper because really it's all going to get covered up anyway because of all of these. Got some other elements. Time to start putting the pictures on the page. Like I said, it ends up being almost like a jigsaw puzzle or playing Tetris to get the pictures on the page. I do want them to be close to the day that they actually occurred, meaning I want the Magic Kingdom pictures to be on the Monday because that's when we were in Magic Kingdom. Then we headed to Animal Kingdom, then we headed to the beach, then we headed home. So it was really a crazy whirlwind trip. I kind of wish we'd had more time at the beach, but I am glad that we had so many memories at Disney. So I'm trying to fit them all in, but also still have some space where I'll be able to put the different frames. And you can see how I'm working on how to layer the pieces to make sure that important parts of the pictures aren't covered up. You don't want to accidentally cover up someone's face. It's it's fun to figure out, but it can be a little bit um I don't know, not stressful. Stressful, tedious maybe is the right word to describe getting all of these pictures on the page. So we're getting really close. I do manage to get them all on the page, which is quite remarkable because like I said, that's a lot of pictures. And then once they're on the page, I am super careful as I start to adhere them down because I don't want them to get jostled. I want to remember what picture went where. Once I get all of the pictures down, then I will start playing with the different frames to figure out where I can fit those and add in a little bit more layering, a little bit more interest so I can tell the story of such a fun vacation week. So I want to know for special events like this, for vacations and, weddings, just all kinds of special events, do you include them in your regular yearly memory planning, memory keeping, or do you do special albums? I'm kind of doing both. So I am including them in my regular memory planner that documents my family's life throughout the year. And then I am working on a special album that will take me a while to make. I hope I can do it in the next 2 to 3 months. I'm just going to work on it little by little here and there just to add in as many pictures and as many stories as I can, but that'll be kind of a separate album to look back on. But let me know, do you just reserve it for one or the other? Do you do both? Do you only work in mini albums? Let me know kind of how you like to do. Do you do special pages or inserts for your memory planner? That was something else that I kind of considered doing, thinking I could just punch a new piece of paper and add in pages to my memory planner. That would have been another great thing to do. So there's lots of different options. I like to hear how different people work with these special vacations, special events in their lives. Okay, as I'm getting all these frames down on the paper, I'm feeling like the spread looks just a little plain. It's a little more plain than a typical spread I would um, do. And so I decided I'm going to go through the ephemera pieces that came in this month of the Hip Kit Club and see if there are any pieces that I can add to the frames that might, just add a little bit more interest. So I'm going to start flipping through those. And I think it's fun to have a mix of the ephemera pieces and then journaling. I don't want to fill up all the frames with the ephemera pieces, but I also am a big believer in the words and phrases that come on paper pieces and on stickers because I really think that they can bring together what's happening in a picture. And so that's what I'm going to look for. And I do find a few. I found a big quote that says, "This is what it's all about." And that is kind of like the title, I guess, of this particular spread. And then a few that said, "Relax and have fun, sweet as sugar, you're my number one," and then "best pal, always having fun together." All of those seem to really describe what was going on. And then any of the boxes that are left blank, I will fill in with just a little bit of journaling here and there. All right, I think that's going to be it for this memory planning spread. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and consider hitting that subscribe button as well as the bell notification button. I really appreciate all of my amazing subscribers out there. I do want to give a special shout out to all of my Patreon members. Thank you all so much for all of your support. You make what I'm able to do over here on YouTube possible. Plus, I hope you're enjoying all the extra content and perks that we have over on Patreon, including bonus videos, early access, Zoom calls, all kinds of things going on. So if you want to check out Patreon, you can check out that link in the description box below as well. All right, I hope that you have a fabulous day. And as always, keep it creative.